What's going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a fantastic day today. Now, ladies and gentlemen, today I wanted to go ahead and just specifically talk about Arc Raiders and how the team at Embark has the most massive set of balls on them, man. Because seriously, there are a lot of behemoths that are dropping basically in the upcoming month around Arc Raiders. And they have still done basically nothing. I was expecting so much more from Embark to push out this game and get it out there. But I mean, they are keeping it on the low. And honestly, I don't think they're doing it for no reason. But ladies and gentlemen, of course, before we go and dive deep, if you guys are interested in more content like this, don't forget subscribing at the bell. I post 2 times here, once at 8 a.m. Eastern Time and also a second time at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. And also, we do stream Monday through Saturday over on Twitch starting at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Of course, if you guys are interested, you can link that channel down in the description of this video. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, as I was saying, Arc Raiders is supposed to be spending pretty much this whole month marketing for their game to get people excited, pumped, and, ready to go ahead and hop into the overall experience. Well, this whole month has consisted of absolutely nothing but just concept art, if I'm going to be honest with you guys. They really haven't dabbled into anything deep. No new gameplay, new features, not really talking about the overall experience, their development time, what to expect at launch, if there's going to be any more beta. Absolutely nothing. Radio silence ever since the previous playtest. And as I stated, this month was supposed to be the marketing month, because obviously the game is dropping next month on the 30th, October 30th, to be more specific. And we've seen nothing. We've seen absolutely nothing. I mean, amazing concept art, don't get me wrong. It looks absolutely beautiful, stunning. But other than that, they haven't really dove too much deeper. And the craziest part about this whole situation is that they're dropping right around Battlefield 6. Again, for everybody who doesn't know, Battlefield 6 is dropping October 10th. And now, apparently the rumors, and I'm going to make a completely separate video about this because it kind of concerns me for Battlefield. But, it kind of lines up nicely for this video here too. Basically, the rumors are that the Battle Royale for Battlefield 6 is not going to be months later. It's going to be within the same exact month. It's going to be on October 28th. So approximately, 18 days after the launch of Battlefield 6, we're going to be seeing the Battle Royale experience come on through, which will pull even more time away from players. And 2 days, keep that in mind, 2 days after the BR launches is when Arc Raiders is scheduled to go live, October 30th. And let's not forget, ladies and gentlemen, although I don't really care too much about the brand new Call of Duty game, but that doesn't mean the mass majority of people out there aren't going to go ahead and buy on in, right? Let's be honest here. Again, I always say it all the time on this channel, but all of us here, even if you're a very casual player, if you're watching this video, you are in the bottom 5% of people who actually watch content for games. So at the end of the day, our voices aren't too loud. And to be completely honest with you guys, I think Call of Duty is still going to sell pretty dang hot, and people are going to be interested in Black Ops 7, especially as we get closer to the launch of the overall game, which will probably be around November. And obviously, as people want to pick up the game for their family, friends, going into December around the holiday season. So Arc Raiders is literally sandwiched between 2 behemoth titles, okay? We're not talking about any, new indie games popping on up here. No, we're talking about 2 already established franchises. And don't get me wrong, Embark is doing phenomenal right now, but they don't really have any, truly established franchises. The Finals is doing phenomenal, but that's like their main bread and butter, right? It's not like Battlefield that's been out for ages, and Call of Duty, which has been out for ages, and they already have, a hardcore established audience going on there. No, the Finals is still not a massive game, although it's doing well for itself. And Arc Raiders is a completely new IP, so, you are really relying off of people wanting to try something new and different. But again, as I stated, they're literally smushing it between 2 titles that are probably going to be guaranteed purchases for over half the people in this world right now. And from what I can see, it seems the community is a little bit worried based off of this information. As you can see right here, this is a post by Panzerberg. But it pretty much, summarizes all the posts I've been seeing all over Twitter and also all over Reddit. Me waiting for Embark to post something other than concept art. Come on, do something. But it's the truth. Everybody is begging for anything to go ahead and be released or revealed instead of just simply concept art to start building up that hype. But they haven't. All they have done is just consistently releasing very beautiful, outstanding looking concept art, but concept art isn't going to sell the game, especially when you only had a playtest that, I'm going to say a decent amount of people got into that playtest, but not everybody. The amount of people that I've seen say that they can't believe they missed a playtest, including myself. They didn't get a dabble in it. They didn't get any playtime. A lot of people were genuinely expecting a second playtest or a beta or something to go ahead and launch before the game comes on out here, just so everybody else can, get hands-on and see what the game is all about. And there has been nothing. And as I stated, people are worried because now this game that isn't, truly heavily marketed is being sandwiched between two behemoth titles. But I gotta be real. I have faith in Embark. I truly do. And I think they just got nuts of steel. They have literally probably the largest balls within the whole gaming scene to do exactly what they are doing. And to me personally, I feel like they're trying to go ahead and push for a surprise launch. Although we already know the date of, Arc Raiders coming on out here, I think their concept is let people try it out instead of having betas and, and all this other stuff. Let the internet take the game and run with it, and word of mouth will eventually spread. And I'll be real, as much as this technique kind of worries me, I completely believe in it as well, and I've seen it happen before where it absolutely explodes, like Apex Legends, for example. Apex Legends is one of the biggest BR experiences out there, and it literally thrived off of word of mouth. No advertisements, no commercials, no nothing. It just shadow dropped, and it took the world by storm. And I'm going to be honest with you guys, I think that's a pretty smart technique when it comes down to getting Arc Raiders out there and, getting people excited for the overall game. Because right now, if they were to go ahead and start marketing, they're going to be competing against, again, some top dog behemoths. People that are, owned by massive publishers who are worth billions of dollars. Again, Microsoft owns Activision. And EA is over here, leading the charge with allowing DICE to put together Battlefield 6. These companies are worth a lot of cash. And when it comes to marketing, they do not play around whatsoever. So if Arc Raiders, again, a game developed by Embark, who is a smaller team compared to all these other development teams who are, again, funded by massive publishers, if they were to go ahead and try to compete in this marketing race, I don't know if they will come out on top. But what I have noticed is that all the people who didn't get to go ahead and play Arc Raiders, when they were watching streams and watching YouTube content, they instantly fell in love, and they almost got addicted like it was a drug. They didn't even play the game, yet what they saw and heard was so good that they were obsessed, absolutely obsessed to the point where everybody was preaching and begging, again, as I stated before, for a second beta or playtest to come out so they can finally get hands on. Shoot, you could even go anywhere on social media and see how many people were begging them to put up pre-orders so they can finally give Embark all of their money. And again, keep in mind, these are players who didn't even touch the game. So if that much hype was able to be built off of just the playtest alone with the small amount of content within the playtest, could you imagine if they just officially launched the game, have the same streamers come on through and play it, right? With a more fledged out environment, because before it was just a playtest that got everybody hyped and pushed Arc Raiders to the top of the wish list, location on Steam. That was just a little playtest. October 30th will present the full-fledged out game. So if that much hype was off of the playtest, I can only imagine how much hype is going to build off of the base game itself, which will instantly get people to purchase it. Again, they don't need marketing. They don't need 50,000 betas to get people excited and play the demo. They just have to go ahead and get people to see what it is. And I guarantee it will bring in enough hype to get people to just splurge all over Arc Raiders. And also, I do want to mention, it's an extraction shooter. So the genre that this game's in is completely different than everything else that's launching. So although, yes, Battlefield 6 and, Black Ops 7 are massive IPs, and they're going to have tons of marketing money, at the end of the day, they're both first-person arcade-style shooters. It's just the reality of it. And even on the 28th, when they go ahead and launch a Battle Royale experience for Battlefield 6, that still has nothing to do with Arc Raiders. Arc Raiders is an extraction shooter. It's not like it's a Battle Royale. If it was a Battle Royale, yeah, I'd probably be a bit more concerned that it's launching so close to Battlefield 6's BR, but it's not. It's an extraction shooter. Something that is completely different than everything that is coming out for the remainder of this year. I think that it will be unique enough, and I think that it will have enough support backing it up to help it stand on its own against all these other behemoths. And again, Arc Raiders, seriously, the team at Embark, you guys got some nuts of steel because, man, I can't think of anyone who would go ahead and do this. Everybody will be way too nervous. They'll probably be pushing back their game, saying, you know what, we're just going to delay it a little bit and, see how things go. Let everybody else drop, and then we'll go ahead and do it. No. These guys aren't even budging. They are not even budging on their release date. It's been set at October 30th for ages now. And guess what? That's when it's going to go ahead and drop. They don't care what's coming out around it. They don't care what's going on. And in all reality, that's the mentality you should have. The only reason you'll be worried about what's coming out is if you're not confident and proud of your overall product. This only shows pure, utter confidence. They know they have a banger on their hands, and it doesn't matter what drops around it, the game will be unique enough to stand on its own and be able to thrive. And I respect the heck out of Embark for having that mentality, and I really hope it pans out well for them. But for me personally, I think that they're taking a very interesting approach, but at the same time, it's a smart approach. And I think it will be good enough for this game to pop. I don't think that it will die next to Battlefield 6 or next to Black Ops 7. I think that it will honestly succeed, if you want my personal opinion on it. But ladies and gentlemen, as always, if you enjoyed today's video, leave a like. If you hated it, leave a dislike. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell. I post your daily at 8 and 1 Eastern Time. And we also double upload at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Everything between COD, Battlefield, Splitgate 2, Arc Raiders, Gears of War, pretty much any shooter that goes ahead and sparks my interest I discuss on this channel. And last but not least, I do stream Monday through Saturday over on Twitch, starting at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Of course, if you guys are interested, you can link that channel down in the description of this video. But as always, thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you all next one. Peace out.